Earlier in the show, we spoke to Wonderboy Thompson, one half of that amazing main event in Ottawa on June 18th. Of course, the man he'll be facing in the nation's capital, our nation's capital, the Great White North, is the Red King, Rory MacDonald, and he is back on the show. It's been a long time. Very excited to talk to Rory MacDonald. Rory, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Rory, how are you?
I'm good. You?
The best part about this is I don't have to keep bothering you every week. Every week I bother you, and I feel like you're getting so annoyed at me wanting to talk to you. Now we can finally talk.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, it's interesting. I love this fight. I love it. I love everything about it. But as I was just talking to Stephen, I feel like this fight is so good. When I dream of it, I feel like it should be for the belt. And he was saying he was a little disappointed. He wanted the title shot. He didn't really want to fight you. He likes you, all that stuff. How did you feel when they offered you this fight?
I was happy. I think it's a big fight for me because of his win streak and his last big fight against Johnny. So, if I put on a dominant performance, that really puts me back in the running for a title shot right away. So I thought it was a great opportunity for me.
Did you watch his fight against Johnny?
Yeah, of course.
What'd you think of it? I thought it was one of the best performances I've ever seen inside the octagon, period. What did you think of it?
I thought it was excellent. I was really impressed with how he shut Johnny down and really made him look bad. So, I was very impressed.
I know you guys have trained together in the past, never sparred, and this was a few years ago. Has he changed a lot as a fighter? Has he gotten a lot better since you were in the gym with him at TriStar a few years back?
Well, I can only assume so. He's gained a lot of experience fighting in MMA. Before that, he was just doing his striking, kickboxing stuff. So, I think he's gained a lot of experience and really matured. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I've noticed. He's really matured in the ring and really been able to show his strength out there.
So the fight is still around 3 months away. Of course, the last time we saw you was in July. This is a pretty long layoff for you. Are you missing the sport? Have you enjoyed your time off? How do you feel about it?
Oh no, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time and a lot of negotiations, been taking forever. So, I'm really happy about getting back in there.
What kind of negotiations? Were you a free agent?
No, we were negotiating my next seeing if I was gonna renew a new contract, or just fight out my last fight on my contract. And that was dragging along until just recently. So,
how many fights did you have on the old contract? How many fights do you have left?
I'm fighting my sixth fight out of. I'm on a 6-fight deal right now.
Oh,
and this will be my 6th fight. So I'll be a free agent afterwards.
So did you sign a new contract, or are you fighting out the contract?
I'm fighting out the contract.
Oh, wow. Interesting. And so you talked about negotiations. Did you just not come to terms and say, okay, now we're just going to ride it out?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, we didn't really come to an agreement. So exactly. I'm going to honor the contract and go from there.
How do you feel about that? Were you disappointed with what they offered you, and that's why you chose to ride it out?
Yeah, we weren't too far apart, when it really came down to it. But, I felt that I was worth, my offer was fair. And, I was going to stand my ground for what I feel that I was worth and what I brought to the table, And, they didn't see it like that, so, it's okay. Well, I'll just, I'll try to make a dominant performance and really show my worth out there in my next fight, and maybe after that we'll come to a new agreement. So,
is it in your mind? Do you want to remain in the UFC, or are you interested in testing the waters? As we've seen, we just had Matt Mitrione on announce that he has signed with Bellator. This has become a new story in our sport. Do you want to, be a free agent and actually talk to a bunch of different promotions?
I want to make the most money I can. I want to get paid for what I bring to the table. I've sacrificed a lot to get to the best to the world title. You know, I really sacrificed, and I didn't really. I took a lot of chances. You know, I did a lot of favors. I felt like for the UFC, and it didn't. I don't think it got returned. So now it's all about making money, and whoever wants to pay me the most is where I'll go.
You know, now it almost feels like, well, now this fight is even more interesting because you've told us, and I didn't know that. Does this feel even bigger than a title fight now? I mean, there's a lot at stake here. You're essentially rolling the dice on yourself, right?
Yeah, but I believe in myself. Mm-hmm. So I'm not too worried about it.
How would you describe the state of your relationship with the UFC now?
Oh, it's good. I mean, I have no beef with them. Like it's not like we got into an argument or anything. It's just business, and if that's all it is. My relationship with them is good and it's healthy, and I plan on promoting this fight and putting on a good show for them and honoring this contract. There's nothing. I have nothing bad about them to say. I'm disappointed that we don't agree on my value.
How long did you guys talk for, and at what point do you say, all right, let's just stop talking, give me a fight, and let's move on here?
Well, I told them we told them for the longest time, if you guys don't want to negotiate anymore, like, I'm willing to fight out the contract. Like, I wasn't trying to hold it up, I said either send a fight contract over, or we we get a new one going, So I was always up for just fighting out the contract. I was good both ways, So it just took time.
Do you think this is why you're fighting Wonderboy? You can make a strong case that he's the toughest guy in the division, and now maybe it sheds some light as to why this fight is happening now. Do you feel like that's why they booked you against him?
I think it was timing. A lot was just random timing, For the longest time, they told me I'm fighting Hector Lombard.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he gets booked with someone else, and then Stephen wins, and then I get booked with him. So, I mean, I really don't know what their motivation was or why they wanted that, but, my job is to fight whoever they wanted. And I've always said that. I always say yes to whoever they put me against, and that's it.
So over the weekend, I saw an article. Hector Lombard did an interview with FoxSports.com, and he was saying that you're scared to fight him and all this stuff, and they offered you the fight, you turned it down.
That's a lie.
So what happened there? Was it just that you guys were still in talks and they didn't want to give you a fight?
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Please.
We had been in negotiations with my new contract since my last fight, but they had offered me to fight Hector next. So I said, definitely, let's do it. So I think they booked me for the London card, the last London card there.
Yep.
Okay, and then I was like, no problem. Let's get it. And so about when I was going to start training camp, they said, okay, we don't feel that you're ready because you haven't started sparring yet. But I never told them that I was not ready or I wasn't healthy with my nose or whatever. Like, they just asked me if I had started sparring. I said, no, I was going to wait till training camp started to get back into it. And it was like, okay, we're going to postpone it till the Australia card, March. I don't remember what it was. Whenever the Australia card
this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, well, I want to fight in London, and I don't want to be flying all over. I don't want to be flying that far to go fight this guy. So I was like, tell you what, I'll fight in Australia, but give me the new contract. They apparently weren't willing to do that because the next thing that happened was they booked him with Neil Magny.
Huh.
But I don't know.
Are you disappointed? I know you were supposed to fight him last year in Montreal. Is that the fight you really wanted in this last fight on the contract? Was that the perfect fight for you?
It's a fight, so I mean I was happy with it. I think fighting Stephen Thompson does more for my career personally. Like I think that's a better fight for my career.
Mm-hmm.
But Hector's still a tough fighter, and I would have loved to step in there with him and test myself against that kind of style. So either one's a good fight, I don't think. But as far as good for my career and more recognition and putting myself in a good spot, I think beating Thompson does a lot more for me.
Stylistically, go ahead.
I guess it just played out in my favor with timing. Not that it was meant to be. I chose it like that, but that's just how it played out, I guess.
Stylistically for you, which is the tougher matchup in your opinion?
Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm sure though you prefer fighting in Ottawa as opposed to Brisbane, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't really like traveling that far to fight. That's why I said I'm not really down to travel that far. But if you renew my contract and give me a little bit more money, then I'll do it. But I'm not fighting over there for $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fight London or somewhere a little closer, or in North America. Man, it's a long ass way to make a little money.
Have you been paying, are you the kind of guy that reads the news? Have you been paying attention to Benson and all this stuff happening with free agency in MMA? Did that pique your interest at all?
I heard a few things that someone told me that Benson said, but I haven't been paying too much attention, though.
Are you looking forward to that? Do you think it's going to be a fun process, or would you rather not go through that?
I'd rather not go through it. I'd rather just agree on something with the UFC and move forward. But we'll see what happens.
Overall, go ahead, sorry.
I'm very willing to do it, though. It means making the most money.
Did what happened in the Robbie Lawler fight, did that change your stance at all? The damage that you took in that fight, did you say I need to start getting paid more after putting my... Did you
definitely.
Because you did call that the best night of your life and all that. Have your thoughts, feelings towards it changed?
No, not at all. The experience itself, the fight was great. I loved it. It was a great thing for me and my martial arts career. But a performance like that and everything I did leading up to it in my career with the UFC, I feel like I should be left a little bit more financially stable. I still make good money, but I still feel that I was worth more. I brought more to the table than what I really got. So I just have to fight for what I is right on the business side now. And I guess that getting to that point, to the world title and stuff, after a hard fight like that, and it just opened my eyes to it. Okay, now it's it's time to get a little more business savvy rather than just do whatever just to get to the big fight,
It's amazing. You're only 26. I feel like we've been watching you for so long, especially because you started so young in the sport. Do you know how long you want to do this for? Do you start thinking about when you want to do something else?
I'll probably always fight. I don't know if it'll always be against the best guys, but I'll probably fight for a real long time. And I'll probably be like a Dan Severn, just fighting local shows when I'm old. I don't know.
That's what you want?
Well, yeah, kind of. But you never know what interest will take me down the road later on. We'll see.
And, I apologize if I'm prying here, but are you going to become a dad soon?
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's incredible. Does this change the way you view your career and how much you make?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Now that I'm starting a family, I want to, look after them. Make sure they're comfortable. I don't need much at the end of the day. I'm just a martial artist that likes fighting, but when you have a family and responsibilities, you want to provide for them and their future. That they're comfortable. So that's definitely a big motivation.
When's the baby supposed to come?
July.
Oh wow! So right after the Wonder Boy fight.
That's right.
Wow, that's amazing! Wow, what a time to be Rory MacDonald. So much going on. Is that good that it's happening right before? Or would you have preferred? How do you feel about it?
I think it's good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably be able to take a couple months and, just get stable with being with a new baby and stuff, and then hopefully get another fight again after that if the contract negotiations go smoothly. Hopefully they go fast so we can just get something lined up quickly. But we'll see.
When you're doing these negotiations, are you the one talking to the UFC, or is it your manager, Rodolph, or someone else?
It's my management, yeah.
Do you ever get involved in the discussions?
No, that's not my job.
Yeah. That's probably for the best. I don't know if sometimes they try to reach out to you to talk, just man-to-man or via the phone, something like that.
Yeah, they can call me, but and talk to me if they want. But if they want to start talking numbers and all that stuff, I'm just going to leave that to the guys I pay to do that,
Yeah. It was great to see you at the press conference a couple weeks ago, and I noted briefly when I saw you, the hair was back. You look great in the suit, and then you broke my heart. You said you're going to shave it again. Why are we going to shave it? You look so good with that hair.
I don't know. I was just screwing with you. I don't know. I might shave it. I don't know.
It's a good look. It's with the suit and everything. It's good, and it was fun. As I noted to Wonder Boy, everyone was talking crap to each other, facing off, having to be pulled apart. You and him, you're like all friendly, patting each other on the shoulder. Did you get a kick out of watching everyone else, or was it annoying? What was it like for you, just being there, involved in a fight that had no heat of that kind whatsoever?
I'm always happy to be part of those fights where it's like, let's just do our job and be martial artists,
Yeah.
It's weird now seeing how every single time someone gets in a fight with another person, they have to hate them, or there's some kind of drama now, and it's a big story. I don't get that, man.
Too much.
I'm just going in there. I respect all the guys that I fight, and most of the time I get along with them pretty well because we have similar interests. We like to fight each other,
right?
But I don't understand why everyone's really going the shit talking route. I guess that's what the UFC model wants now. They want that drama. I guess the fans like that. I guess I don't know why, but.
Did you watch Robbie's fight against Carlos Condit?
Yeah, of course. That was great.
Who do you think won?
I think Robbie squeaked it out in the end of this last round, fifth round.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was close though, razor close, but I think Robbie really pulled it out at the end. I
thought afterwards that they would give you Condit, that they would finally do that fight. I thought it made all the sense. Was that discussed at all?
It wasn't. They never said that at all. But didn't he say he was retiring or something? He wasn't sure what he's doing, or he's taking a break or something?
Yeah, he said that. But, sometimes people say that after fights, and he does seem to be sticking to it. He said either he gets a title shot or he's probably not going to fight again. That's his stance right now.
Gotcha. Well, maybe if I win the title, maybe I could call him out and we can make it happen.
Finally, after all these damn years. By the way, speaking of retiring, you got everyone crazy in Dublin when you talked about George. What news can you break for us regarding George? Now we got Faraz tweeting things at Nate Diaz. Is he coming back or what?
That would be fun. I think it would be good to see him fight Nate or something like that, or Connor or something. It'd be cool. I really don't know. He's so secretive.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a read on it, but he's training and he's doing good, so I don't know. I think it really comes down to the numbers,
Mm-hmm. You ever sit down with him, like you guys are in the locker room or something, like, George, what is going on? Because I feel like he's sort of in, he's sort of out, and that leads to more question, more people bothering you guys. Like, can you just, you know what he should have done? He should have just retired and just not stuck to it, but everyone would stop bothering him. But now that he's kind of being too honest and telling us he doesn't really know, it just leads to more speculation.
Yeah.
What do you think happens? Do you think he comes back?
I think he could come back if the right amount of money is on the table and the right fight is there for him. That's my guess. But I try not to ask George about that stuff because that's pretty much anyone ever asks him about. And when it happens, it'll happen, and I'll just see it on the news somewhere or something. But I don't know. He'll do what he ends up he wants to do. He'll be fine.
Do you get a kick out of seeing what's happened with Nate Diaz? It almost feels like people have forgotten that you guys fought each other way back when at UFC 129. Completely different. I mean, now he's living large. Do you think about that sort of thing? Yeah.
Why? What's he doing?
Well, he made a lot of money.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. He made a lot. More than he's probably ever made combined.
Okay, good.
Yeah, well, with pay-per-view and all that, and how big, they said that fight, that card did over 1.5 or around 1.5. That's what Dana said last week in the media.
Wow.
He got paid big time, and now he's like on Extra. He's doing all this like mainstream.
Awesome.
You like that?
I'm super happy for him, man. I hope everybody gets paid like that, especially a guy who's been around for so long. And I've seen a couple of his fight numbers after, and I was absolutely pissed. I was like, how is a guy like this making that money,
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way about my fights, too, Sometimes I look at the numbers, I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
How am I getting paid that? So, when you hear something like that, like, it makes you happy, for martial artists.
Do you think that the times are changing now, that guys are starting to feel like a lot more guys? Do you guys talk about that backstage? You talk about that at the gym? Like, it's time that we start getting paid a little more?
It's definitely becoming a main issue in our sport. Guys really want to see themselves get paid. They understand this is forever, and there's no pension after this or anything like that. You got to make your money while you're in it, and so it's a hot topic now,
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you started to think that way? Was it before the Robbie fight or after?
I always thought about it. I mean, it was always there, but I just didn't put as much stock into it. I didn't put as much effort into really making it an issue. Now it's more of an issue.
Last thing, do you think that there's a chance in the lead up to this fight that you come to terms on a new deal, or has that been put on the sidelines until this fight is over?
It's already. I signed the contract for Stephen already for the amount that I am making, so it's already locked in.
Okay, so there's no chance they come up back and say, you know what, we want to. It's done until the fight, until June 18th and beyond.
Well, so far, I'm signed into the fight the way it is. If they come at me with a new offer, it would be really surprising. I don't see that happening.
Okay. What's your gut say? Do you think you resign or you
after the fight?
Yeah. What do you think?
My gut tells me I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I'm just gonna do what I have to do, what I can control. I'm gonna go in there and try to have the best performance of my life, and then my job is done. And
then GDP, as they say, get that paper.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Rampage Jackson once told me the cheddar makes it better.
It does. Yeah. I agree with that.
Well, wow, this has been fascinating. I did not expect this. Now I understand why you didn't want to come on the show before. It all makes sense now, Rory. No hard feelings. So I appreciate, yes.
All coming together.
All coming together. Fascinating stuff. Really appreciate you coming on and talking so openly about this. I think that's important as well. And wow, now I'm really looking forward to June 18th. I was really looking forward to it before. Now I'm definitely looking forward to it. June 18th, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Rory MacDonald versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. It does not get better than that, in my opinion, as far as MMA is concerned. What a pleasure to have you on the show, Rory. Thank you so much. Best of luck to you with everything, with the training, with the upcoming birth. By the way, being a father is the greatest thing times a million. Your life is going to change for the better. I say this as a proud father of two, so really happy for you that you're about to be a boy or girl. Do you know?
Girl.
Awesome. Beautiful. I love it. Yeah. Congratulations on that, and I will talk to you very soon. Again, thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, pal.
All right, there he is, Rory MacDonald, stopping by. Whew, I did not expect that. Wow, fascinating stuff there from Rory MacDonald. Really interesting, and as I said in December, that is the story to watch in 2016, free agency in MMA. Holy moly.